A small roadside diner. Yellow lights glow softly through the foggy windows. A man sits alone at a corner table. His dinner is simple. Soup, bread, nothing more. He stares at the empty chair across from him. Then he sighs. The door opens. Cold wind rushes in. A young woman stands there with a boy, maybe 6 years old. Both are soaked from the rain. She speaks quietly. "I'm sorry to ask. My son's hungry. Can we stay a while?" The man nods. He pulls out a chair. "Please, sit. No one should eat alone tonight." His name is Jack Rowan. He's 40 years old, a single dad, a mechanic at a local garage. His wife died 3 years ago. Cancer. It happened fast. Their daughter Lila is 9 now. She's staying with her grandparents this week. Jack needed space. Time to think. Time to breathe. But mostly he just feels alone. Every night he comes to this diner, always the same table, always the same meal, soup and bread. He orders 2 sets of silverware, one for him, one for the memory of her. It's a habit he can't break. Tonight was supposed to be like every other night, quiet, forgettable. Then the door opened. The woman's name is Grace Miller. She's 29, a single mother running from a past she won't talk about yet. Her ex-husband was violent. She left with nothing but her son and $23 in her pocket. The boy's name is Ethan. He's 6, skinny, polite, too polite for a kid his age. Even now, standing wet and shivering, he whispers, "Thank you," when Jack points to the chair. Grace sits slowly. She doesn't make eye contact. She's embarrassed, ashamed maybe. "We just need to warm up," she says quietly. "We won't bother you long." Jack looks at them, really looks. The boy's shoes are torn. His jacket is too thin for this weather. Grace's hands are shaking, not from cold, from something deeper. Jack waves over the waitress. 2 more bowls of soup, grilled cheese for the kid, hot chocolate too. Grace's eyes go wide. "Sir, we can't." "You're not," Jack says simply. "I am." Ethan looks up at his mom. His face lights up like it's Christmas morning. "Can I really, Mom?" Grace's voice cracks. "Yes, baby, you can." The food comes quickly. Ethan eats like he hasn't seen a meal in days, because he hasn't. Grace tries to eat slowly, with dignity, but Jack sees her hands tremble as she lifts the spoon. "When did you last eat?" Jack asks. She hesitates. "Yesterday morning, a gas station muffin. We split it." Jack's chest tightens. He knows hunger. Not like this, but he knows what it means to lose everything. "Where are you staying tonight?" Grace looks down. "We'll figure it out. Maybe the shelter downtown, if they have space." Jack knows that shelter. It's full every night. And it's not safe. He doesn't say anything yet, just watches Ethan laugh at something the waitress said. It's the first time Jack has heard a child laugh in this diner in 3 years. It sounds like life. Grace notices the second set of silverware, the untouched napkin, the empty chair Jack keeps glancing at. "You were waiting for someone?" Jack nods slowly. "I was. She's in heaven now." The table goes quiet. Then Ethan, with the innocent wisdom only kids have, says softly, "Maybe she's watching us eat together. My grandma's in heaven too. Mom says she still sees us." Jack feels something break inside him. Not in a painful way, in a way that lets light back in. He looks at Grace. "Your boy's smart." She smiles for the first time. Too smart sometimes. Jack pays the bill without asking. He leaves a big tip. As they stand to leave, Grace's voice is barely a whisper. "Thank you. We'll pay you back someday." Jack shakes his head. "You already did. You reminded me why I'm still here." They don't leave right away. Jack doesn't know why he says it. Maybe it's the cold outside. Maybe it's the way Ethan keeps looking at the dessert menu. "Stay a little longer. It's freezing out there." Grace hesitates, but Ethan's already sitting back down. The waitress brings apple pie, 3 slices. Jack ordered them without asking. Ethan takes a bite and his whole face lights up. "Mom, it tastes like Grandma's." Grace smiles, a real smile this time. It changes her whole face. "Grandma made the best piece." Past tense? Jack asks gently. Grace nods. She passed 2 years ago. Stroke. After that, things got harder. Jack understands. Loss has a way of unraveling everything else. They eat slowly. The diner is nearly empty now, just them and the hum of the old refrigerator in the back. Ethan starts talking, the way kids do when they feel safe. He tells Jack about his favorite cartoon, about the frog he caught last summer, about how he wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. Because firefighters save people, Ethan says proudly. Jack smiles. It's small, but it's real. That's a good reason. Grace watches Jack carefully. She notices things. The way he listens to Ethan like every word matters. The way his eyes soften when Ethan laughs. The way he still keeps glancing at that empty chair. You have kids? She asks. A daughter, Lila. She's 9, staying with my in-laws this week. Does she look like you? Jack pulls out his phone, shows her a photo, a little girl with dark curls and a gap-toothed smile. She looks like her mom. Grace sees the pain flicker across his face. How long has it been? 3 years, 2 months, 16 days. The precision of it breaks her heart. I'm sorry. Jack shrugs. Everyone's sorry, but sorry doesn't bring her back. So I just keep going for Lila. There's a long silence. Then Grace notices something, the burn scar on Jack's left hand. It's old, faded, but still visible. How did that happen? Jack looks down at his hand like he forgot it was there. Fire. About 12 years ago, I worked in a restaurant kitchen back then. Grease fire got out of control. 3 people were trapped in the back. You went in after them? Someone had to. Grace stares at him. Did you get them out? Yeah, all 3. One of them was the dishwasher. Kid was only 17. He's a chef now. Sends me a card every Christmas. Ethan's eyes are huge. You're a hero. Jack shakes his head quickly. No, I'm just a guy who didn't think. I just moved. But Grace sees it differently. You saved people back then, she says softly. Tonight you saved us. Jack looks uncomfortable with the praise. I just bought dinner. But you gave us more than food. You gave us dignity. You didn't look at us like we were less. Her voice cracks on the last word. Jack's throat tightens. You're not less. You're just in a hard spot. We all end up there sometimes. Grace wipes her eyes quickly. She doesn't want Ethan to see her cry. But Jack sees. He changes the subject. Where are you from originally? Ohio, small town. You wouldn't know it. What brought you here? Grace's face darkens. I was trying to get away. Somewhere he wouldn't find us. Your ex? She nods. Jack doesn't push. He knows some stories need time. Instead, he asks Ethan, What's your favorite subject in school? Reading. I'm on level 3. That's great, buddy. You like stories? Yeah, Mom reads to me every night, even when we don't have a house. The innocence of it guts both adults. Grace looks at Jack. We've been staying in the car for 4 days. I lost my job 2 weeks ago. Waitressing. The owner said I took too many sick days. But Ethan had the flu and I couldn't leave him. Jack's jaw tightens. So he fired you for being a mom. Basically. That's garbage. Grace laughs bitterly. Yeah, but it's reality. Jack thinks for a moment. You looking for work? Desperately, but most places want references, an address, things I don't have right now. Jack pulls out his phone. My buddy owns a bakery 2 blocks from my garage. He's always looking for help. Early mornings, but good pay, and he doesn't ask questions. Grace's eyes well up. You'd do that? I'm doing nothing. I'm just making a call. He steps outside. Grace watches him through the window, talking, gesturing, then nodding. He comes back inside. You start tomorrow. 5 a.m. he'll train you. Grace can't speak. She just covers her mouth with her hand. Ethan hugs Jack's leg. Thank you, Mr. Jack. Jack crouches down to Ethan's level. You're welcome, buddy. Take care of your mom, okay? She's pretty great. Ethan nods seriously. I know, she's the best. Jack stands, looks at Grace. But you still need a place to sleep tonight. Grace shakes her head. You've done enough. We'll be fine. You'll freeze in that car. We have blankets. Grace, she stops, the way he says her name, firm but kind. Let me help. Why, she whispers. You don't even know us. Jack looks at the empty chair, then back at her. Because someone should have helped me when I needed it, and no one did. I don't want to be that person. Would you share your table with a stranger? They leave the diner together. The rain has stopped, but the cold cuts through everything. Jack walks them to his truck. Get in, I'll drive you. Grace hesitates at the passenger door. Drive us where? Jack pulls out a set of keys, old brass, worn smooth from years of use. I have an apartment. It's small, nothing fancy, but it's been sitting empty for 8 months. Why? Because I couldn't let it go. It was our first place. Mine and Sarah's, before Lila, before the house, before everything. Grace shakes her head. Jack, we can't. It's just sitting there collecting dust, costing me money every month. You'd actually be doing me a favor. That's not true. Maybe not, but it's warm, and it's safe, and your boy needs sleep. Ethan is already half asleep against Grace's side. She looks down at him, then back at Jack. I don't take charity. Jack's voice is firm but gentle. Then don't. Call it a trade. You bring life back into a place that's been dead too long. Grace's hands are shaking again. We can't pay rent. I'm not asking you to. Just keep it clean. Make it feel like a home again. That's payment enough. Why are you doing this? Jack looks at her, really looks at her. Because 3 years ago when Sarah died, I stood in a hospital parking lot at 2 a.m. with a screaming baby and no idea what to do. And a nurse I'd never met gave me her phone number. Told me to call anytime, day or night, and I did. Dozens of times. She saved me. His voice cracks. I never got to thank her properly. She moved away. I lost the number. But I think about her every day. So maybe this is me paying it forward. Maybe that's how it works. Grace is crying now. I'll pay you back. Somehow, I swear. I know you will, but not with money. Just be okay. That's enough. They drive in silence. The apartment is on the 2nd floor of an old building. The stairs creak. The hallway smells like old wood and dust. Jack unlocks the door. The apartment is small. 1 bedroom, a tiny kitchen, a couch that's seen better days. But it's clean, and it's warm. Grace walks in slowly, like she's afraid it'll disappear. Ethan wakes up enough to whisper, Is this ours? For now, baby, for now. Jack shows her how the heater works, where the hot water switch is. He opens the fridge. I'll bring groceries tomorrow. For tonight, there's canned soup in the cabinet. Crackers. Not much, but it's perfect. Grace walks around the small living room. Then she stops. On the wall, there's a photo, framed, a woman with kind eyes and a bright smile. She's wearing scrubs, a hospital badge around her neck. Grace's breath catches. She steps closer, stares at the photo. Her hand goes to her mouth. Jack. He looks up from the heater. What's wrong? Grace's voice is barely a whisper. Your wife, what was her name? Sarah. Sarah Chen. Why? Grace turns to him, tears streaming down her face. She saved my mother's life. Jack freezes. What? Grace points at the photo with a shaking hand. 10 years ago, my mom had a stroke. We were on vacation, didn't know the area, rushed her to County General. It was chaos. I was 19, terrified, alone. Her voice breaks. And this nurse, your wife, she held my hand the whole time. 4 hours in the ER. She stayed with me even after her shift ended. She talked to me, calmed me down, helped me understand what the doctors were saying. Jack can't breathe. Sarah did that. She told me her name. I never forgot it. Sarah Chen. I looked for her afterward to thank her, but she'd transferred to a different hospital. Grace looks at Jack with wonder in her eyes. Your wife held my hand when my mom died. Jack sits down heavily on the couch. The room spins. 10 years ago, Sarah had just started at County General. She came home that night exhausted. Told him about a young girl who'd lost her mother, how scared she was, how Sarah couldn't leave her alone. That was Sarah, always staying, always caring. And now, a decade later, that same girl is standing in their first apartment with a son running from her own nightmare. This can't be coincidence, Grace whispers. Jack shakes his head. Sarah believed in signs, said the universe connects people who need each other. Do you believe that? Jack looks at Ethan, now curled up on the couch, then at Grace. I didn't, but maybe I should start. They sit in silence for a long moment. Then Grace asks, can I tell you something? Anything. When I left my ex, I had no plan, no destination. I just drove, and I kept thinking, I kept praying, please let someone help us. Just one person. That's all I need, one kind person. She looks at Jack, and then you pulled out that chair. Jack's eyes burn. I almost didn't. I almost told you the table was reserved because I was tired of people, tired of trying, tired of everything. What changed your mind? Ethan, the way he said thank you before he even sat down. It reminded me of Lila, how she always thanks everyone, even when she's scared, even when she's hurting. Grace nods. Kids see the world different than we do. Yeah, they still believe in good people. Grace stands, walks to Jack. You are a good person. I'm just tired. You're good and tired. Those can both be true. Jack manages a small smile. The moment is broken by Ethan's sleepy voice. Mr. Jack? Jack turns. Yeah, buddy? Are you our guardian angel? Jack's throat closes up. Grace answers for him. Yes, baby, he is. Ethan smiles and closes his eyes again. Jack stands to leave. I'll come by tomorrow. Bring food. Check on you. Grace grabs his hand. Jack, he stops. Thank you for seeing us. Not everyone does. Jack squeezes her hand once. You're hard to miss. He leaves quietly, walks down the creaky stairs, gets in his truck, and for the first time in 3 years, 2 months, in 16 days, Jack Rowan doesn't feel alone. He feels like Sarah is smiling, somewhere, watching, proud. He pulls out his phone, texts his mother-in-law, bring Lila home tomorrow, I'm ready. Then he drives home. The radio plays softly, he doesn't turn it off. For once, the silence doesn't hurt. 3 months pass, Grace works at the bakery every morning. 5 a.m. to noon, she's good at it, fast, reliable. The owner, Marcus, gives her a raise after just 6 weeks. Ethan starts school, 2nd grade. He makes friends quickly. Jack brings Lila to meet them. The 2 kids become inseparable. Lila teaches Ethan how to ride a bike. Ethan teaches Lila how to draw superheroes. Grace and Jack fall into a rhythm. Tuesday nights, they have dinner together, sometimes at Jack's house, sometimes at the apartment. Nothing romantic, just family. The kind neither of them had anymore. But the neighborhood notices. Mrs. Patterson from across the hall talks to Mrs. Kim at the grocery store. Did you see Jack Rowan with that woman and her kid? The quiet mechanic, the one who never talks to anyone. That's the one, suddenly he's playing dad to some stranger's child. The gossip spreads. At first it's curiosity, then it turns mean. I heard she's taking advantage of him. Poor man, lost his wife, and now some woman swoops in. She's probably after his money. Jack hears it at the garage. A customer mentions it while Jack changes his oil. Heard you got yourself a new family situation. Jack doesn't look up. Heard wrong. Just saying, be careful. Single mothers can be what? Jack stands, wipes his hands, stares the man down. Can be what exactly? The customer backs off. Nothing, forget it. Yeah, I thought so. But Jack tells Grace about it that night. She's embarrassed, ashamed. Maybe we should stop the dinners. I don't want people thinking. I don't care what people think. But your reputation. My reputation? Jack laughs bitterly. You know what my reputation was before you? The lonely mechanic who eats alone every night. The weird dad who won't move on. The guy everyone feels sorry for, but nobody actually talks to. Grace is quiet. Jack's voice softens. You brought life back. Not just to that apartment. To me. To Lila. So let them talk. Grace smiles. You're stubborn. I prefer determined. 2 weeks later, something shifts. Marcus, the bakery owner, mentions Grace to everyone who comes in. Best hire I ever made. That woman works harder than anyone I know. The school principal sees how Ethan helps other kids during recess. His mother raised him right. Lila's teacher meets Jack at parent-teacher night. Lila's happier, more confident. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Slowly, the whispers change. Mrs. Patterson sees Jack helping Grace carry groceries up the stairs. She tells Mrs. Kim, you know, that's actually sweet. He's a good man. The customer who questioned Jack comes back to the garage. Hey, I owe you an apology about what I said. Jack nods. Accepted. You're doing a good thing, helping that family. I'm not helping them. We're helping each other. By month 4, Grace has saved enough to buy a small commercial oven. She starts baking on weekends. Cookies, cakes, pies. She sells them at the farmer's market. Jack builds her a display table in his garage. One Saturday, she hangs a sign. Sweet Grace Bakery. For those who need warmth, a woman stops by. Elderly, hunched over. How much for the apple pie? Grace looks at her, really looks. Worn coat, thin gloves, tired eyes. For you, free. Oh, I couldn't. Grace hands it to her. Please, someone gave me a meal when I needed it. I'm just passing it forward. The woman's eyes fill with tears. Bless you, dear. Jack watches from nearby. He doesn't say anything. Just smiles. Because this is what Sarah would have done. And somehow, through this woman he met in a diner, Sarah's kindness keeps living. The table he thought would stay empty forever is full again. Not with grief, with life. 1 year later, December 23rd. Grace's Bakery is now a real shop. Small, right next to Jack's garage. The sign reads, Sweet Grace Bakery. Warm meals, warm hearts. Tonight they're hosting something special. A free Christmas dinner for anyone who needs it. The homeless, the lonely, the struggling. Jack and Grace spent weeks preparing. Marcus donated bread. The local church donated tables. Even Mrs. Patterson and Mrs. Kim volunteered to serve. 50 people show up. Families, veterans, elderly folks, single parents. They fill every seat. Ethan and Lila hand out cookies shaped like stars. Grace stands at the front. Her voice shakes a little. A year ago, I walked into a diner with my son. We were hungry, scared, lost. She looks at Jack, and a stranger pulled out a chair. He didn't just feed us, he gave us hope. He reminded us that good people still exist. The room is silent. Tonight, we want to do the same. For all of you, you're not alone. You're not forgotten, you matter. Applause fills the room. Jack stands next to her. My wife believed that kindness creates chains. One person helps another. Then that person helps someone else, and it keeps going. His voice catches. She was right, because Grace helped me as much as I helped her. She reminded me how to live again. More applause. They served the meal together. Turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, pie. People laugh, share stories, connect. Later, after everyone has left, Grace and Jack clean up. Ethan and Lila are asleep on the bakery couch. Exhausted, happy. Grace turns to Jack. Thank you. For what? For pulling out that chair. Jack smiles. Thank you for asking if you could stay. They stand there, side by side, not quite touching, but close. Grace speaks softly. Do you think she knows? Sarah. Jack looks up, through the window, at the stars. Yeah, I think she does, and I think she's smiling. Me too. Grace leans her head on his shoulder, just for a moment. Jack doesn't move away. Outside, snow begins to fall. The street is empty, quiet, but inside there's warmth and light, and the kind of family that isn't built by blood, but by choice, by kindness, by showing up. Sometimes the table we set for loneliness ends up feeding love instead, and the empty chairs we think will stay empty forever, they fill up. Not with who we lost, but with who we needed to find. Sarah taught me that everyone deserves a seat, everyone deserves warmth, everyone deserves to be seen. So we keep pulling out chairs, we keep sharing meals, we keep showing up. Because that's what it means to be human. That's what it means to live, not alone, but together. The camera pulls back. The bakery glows against the snowy night. The sign shines bright. Warm meals, warm hearts. And inside, two families become one. Subscribe if you believe no one should ever have to eat alone.